Welcome back, folks. It's time for our next 6.5 Grendel video. And today we're going to be trying out a lighter bullet. It's the 107 grain Sierra Match King. I really haven't explored the world of lighter bullets in the Grendel very much, so I'm looking forward to seeing how these guys shoot. Most of our testing up to this point in the Grendel has been the 120 class bullets and then messing around with some heavy stuff, the 135s and 140s. So we've really neglected those light bullets, and today it's time to change that. Now, Sierra does have load data for this bullet for the 6.5 Grendel. That's pretty cool of them. It's not in their manual. I think Sierra's getting ready to release a new manual, and some of the new cartridges, 6.5 Grendel included, they've been releasing the new load data on their website or on their blog. So it's out there and available to all of us. They show high velocity with this bullet and Power Pro Varmint, Alliant Power Pro Varmint. I'm really liking this entire Alliant Power Pro series. Got Varmint. The other powder we're going to shoot today is 2000 MR. I just picked up some 4000 MR to use in 300 Win Mag and maybe some other stuff. The velocities we can get with these are pretty crazy sometimes. So we're going to use Varmint because Sierra has load data for it. They show a max charge of 30.9 grains. As I mentioned, the other powder I want to shoot is Power Pro 2000 MR. This powder is too slow for this weight of bullet, but I kind of want to just try it. I don't have any load data to go off of. The closest is it's another video I'm filming here at the same time that I'm filming this one for the 120 grain Spear Gold Dot. They have 2000 MR data for that 120 grainer. So I just want to try it here with this little 107. It might be an epic failure, I don't know. With this guy, I'm going to shoot up to 33.0 grains. That's pretty much as much of this powder as I felt I could fit in the case without getting ridiculous on the compression. It's going to be a compressed load at 33 grains, but hopefully they still go together okay. We'll find out. Our brass is Hornady brass. This stuff has been fired 3 times. It's been tumbled and resized, deburr and chamfer on the case mouth, and it's ready for powder. Primers are CCI 450 small rifle Magnum primers, and I've already installed the primers in the brass. The overall length I want to go with is 2.280. That's the maximum that'll fit in my magazine. The maximum overall length for my gun is right around 2.365. So we'll have about 85 thousandths of jump in my Faxon barrel. Is that it? We cover it? Did I put it up on the screen? Did I put all the load data here for you to see? We're going to shoot 0.4 of a grain increments. So we're starting at 31.4 grains with 2000 MR and 29.3 with Power Pro Varmint. And I think that pretty much covers it. I have a feeling these bullets are going to shoot some really good groups. I just have that feeling. So I'm going to weigh out powder, which is super boring, and then I'll see you guys over at the bullet seating die. All right, so I expect these Match Kings to seat nice and easy. I'm using a Hornady custom grade bullet seating die with their micrometer adjustment thingy on top. I've got a seating stem installed that fits this bullet really nicely, so it should be pretty straightforward. So let's dial it in. Our goal is 2.280, 2.421, so 140 thousandths long. Okay, there's 140 thousandths. See where that puts us. 2.285. Go ahead and seat a couple more before I make any adjustments here. 2.284. This one's 2.294, but the hollow point of this bullet is a little bit janky. You might be able to see it a little bit crooked. Doesn't hurt anything, but it screws up your overall length measurements when you're measuring to the tip. And it can also screw you up when you're trying to get it into a magazine. So I'll tell you what, we'll use this one, the one that's too long here, to dial in our 2.280. So that's 14 thousandths. Some of these others are going to be a little shorter than we had wanted, but no big deal. 2.274, 2.273, yep, 2.271. I guess going off that one long one might not have been the best idea. There it is, 2.279 and 2.271. No big deal. At least we can be sure we're not going to have any magazine feeding issues. Let's go ahead and switch over to the Hornady bullet comparator and see what that gives us from cartridge base to ogive. 1.677. Now this, we should get the same reading on each one. 1.677, 1.677, good. So I'm gonna write that down, and that'll be how I measure it from here on out. These are already compressed. This first load with 2000 MR, 31.4 grains, is already a little bit compressed. So let's jump forward to our max charge with Power Pro 2000 MR, see if our overall length grows a bit. Yeah, it definitely felt a little bit of extra resistance on that guy, and it's at 1.683, so 5 or 6 thousandths of longer overall length just from the additional resistance of the compressed charge. And you might be able to see we do have a very light ring around the bullet that the seating stem left during seating. Nothing to freak out about, nothing to freak out about at all. But this is definitely about as far as we want to go with charge weight on Power Pro 2000 MR. So if our max charge today of 33.0 grains doesn't get us the velocities we're looking for, then the powder's just not suitable. Right? Makes sense? Sure it does. Yep, so our next row is 1.678, so I think for each additional row, I'm just going to need to go ahead and come down a thousandth or so and just keep up with that as I go along. I want to keep them all at that same 1.677 cartridge base to ogive number. 1.677. Good. So that's it, folks. That's about all there is to it. Pretty straightforward stuff. So let's go ahead and just get out on the range. All right, folks, time to get this party started. We've got a target at 100 yards. The dots down there are 1 inch in diameter. Our gun has got an 18-inch Faxon heavy fluted barrel. I'm shooting with my Silencer Co. Omega and MagnetoSpeed chronograph. This is a Gibbs side charging upper receiver with a Midwest Industries handguard, 24 power vortex scope. So let's get this party started. First up is going to be 29.3 grains of Power Pro Varmint. Let's see if these things are going to shoot. I think they're going to. I just got a good feeling about today. All right, these are shooting about a mile high. I'll tell you what, before we get too far into it, I'm going to go ahead and move my scope, else it's going to drive me crazy the whole time. Yeah, let's go down 2 minutes and start there. I hate to do that, but whatever. That is an excellent start. I haven't shot enough light bullets in this gun to really know what to expect as far as velocity, but starting off, we're pretty much at 2,500 feet per second. That seems pretty good. Let's move on. 29.7 grains is next. Yeah, folks, this is what I was hoping for. Brass looks great. Moving on, 30.1 grains. Like, this is really good stuff. And the other thing is, I'm shooting a little faster than I normally would because I'm running out of daylight and it's dark by the time I get home from work. So if I put this off, I gotta wait till next weekend to shoot these. And I really wanna shoot them now. All right, next up, 30.5 grains. And of course, as soon as I mention that I'm in a rush, the group goes to crap. Don't get me wrong, I'm still taking my time. Like, I've been filming for 21 minutes and we've shot 20 rounds, so about a round a minute. Not exactly a mag dump. All right, last up with Power Pro Varmint, 30.9 grains. All Ah, that last shot screwed it all up. All right, the brass still looks great there with our last charge of Power Pro Varmint. I'm going to take a break for a minute just to rest my eyes, just for 5 minutes maybe, and then we'll move on to Power Pro 2000 MR. Okay, it's time for Power Pro 2000 MR, for which we have no load data, and we might be about to blow our face off. Only one way to find out, 31.4 grains. See what happens. All right, I still got my face, and that first shot was 2,414 feet per second. That's lower than our starting charge was with Power Pro Varmint. So this might prove to be a pretty stupid experiment that was pretty useless, but whatever. At least now we know. All right, let's see if they'll group. Yeah, that's a halfway decent group. Average velocity 2420 with an 8.7 feet per second standard deviation. Let's move on. 31.8 grains is next. Yeah, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but here, don't have a whole lot of light, so I'm able to see the muzzle flash really well. And this thing is throwing out a fireball. So I don't think this Power Pro 2000 MR is getting burnt all the way in this 18-inch barrel. The story might be different in a 24 or 22-inch barrel. And this kind of goes back to the other video I did with the 120 grain Spear Gold Dot, where Power Pro 2000 MR didn't quite give us the velocity we were hoping for, and that was the thought then as well, that maybe the barrel length just wasn't enough. I don't know. All right, moving right along, 32.2. One argument against that theory of not getting a complete burn is we are seeing extremely stable velocities, right? These standard deviation numbers are great. And my past experience shooting, powders that are just too slow and you're blowing a bunch of unburnt powder is that the velocity is usually all over the place. So I don't know what's going on, but let's keep shooting. 32.6 grains is next. Okay, last up, 33.0 grains. All right, so we got it done before dark. Let's get packed up, get back to the bench. All right, folks, let's have a quick look at the brass, and it's going to be very quick. There's absolutely nothing at all to see. This stuff looks awesome. This is the max charge from, this is actually the 2000 MR max charge. Case heads look perfect. Primer's nice and round. Nothing going on here on the side. Just perfect brass. It was the same story with Power Pro Varmint, which I'm happy to see, because maybe we can keep going a little bit with Power Pro Varmint, get a little bit more velocity. Case heads look perfect, primer's nice and round, same story. Yep, it's all just perfect brass, no pressure signs whatsoever today. So it's all good. Okay, so let's have another look at this target. Those first 3 groups we shot with Power Pro Varmint, that was really good stuff. That middle group ended up being a .474. And then I don't know what in the heck happened in that fourth group. Like it felt like a good group, like it was good shots, but it opened all the way up to 1.5 inches. Same thing with the last group, kinda. That last shot dropped really low and opened it up to about 1.5 inches as well, but it was trying to group. So I think we need to shoot a little bit more with Power Pro Varmint and this bullet to verify this. Like I mentioned, we can go a little bit farther, I think. The brass looked fantastic. Plus we're shooting a little bit longer overall length than the Sierra load data called for, so maybe we can go a little higher. Maybe things will tighten back up. I don't know, but it sure did look good there between, was that about 2,500 feet per second and 2,570. So down to Power Pro 2000 MR, it was kind of the opposite scenario. Things seemed to be tightening up just a little bit as we went. Our last group was a .965. That was the only one we shot that was under 1 inch with 2000 MR. But the group before that was kind of trying to stack them in there. So I don't know. It seemed like, you know, maybe we were coming close to some accuracy there on the top end. But like I mentioned earlier in the video, this was about as much powder as I would want to put in the case. The velocities weren't impressive at all. And there are just a whole lot more appropriate powders for the 6.5 Grendel, right? We knew that going into it. We said that right at the beginning of the video. It was a dumb choice of powder, and we proved that. So at least we don't have to wonder anymore, right? That's my excuse. But on the whole, the first 3 groups with Varmint really make me think that my gun could shoot really well with these bullets. And I want to keep shooting them. Like, I want to get another box. We've still got 50 of them left in this box, but I want to pick up some more because I want to try these in 6.5 Creedmoor as well. But it seems like it might be a good choice for my Grendel, because this Grendel, like the first Grendel barrel I had, the 24-inch Saturn barrel from Brownells, that barrel really liked the 123 grain Sierra Match King. This barrel just doesn't seem to like that bullet very much. It doesn't shoot it terrible, but it doesn't shoot it like the first couple groups we saw today. So I'm hoping maybe this will be a go-to bullet for this gun when we really want to shoot some good groups, because I really don't have that bullet identified yet for this barrel. We shot some good groups with the 140 grain Hornady hollow point bowtail match bullet, but that's not something I want to shoot all the time. Those big heavy bullets, the velocities are just so low in the Grendel. I think down here on the lighter end, where we can get these guys really moving, will be a better choice. I'm not sure which powders we'll go with in the next video with this bullet. Maybe AR Comp? Like AR Comp did a pretty good job for us the other day with the 120 grain Spear Gold Dot. I'm thinking it might be just about the right burn rate for this weight of bullet, or 8208 XBR perhaps. I'm not sure, but this bullet's got me intrigued. Those first couple groups were pretty sweet. So I think that's about it. Not a whole lot to talk about here in our wrap up, so we'll just call this good enough. One thing I want to do is say a quick congratulations to a viewer named Mike. Somebody let me know that he's about to retire from the Army after 22 years. I mean, I guess that's an accomplishment, right? It's not exactly the Marine Corps, but it's still, I mean, it's good, right? He was some sort of special forces sniper at one point in his career, so he probably could have passed Marine Corps rifle qualification. I mean, they give you several tries. Like if you fail, they give you like remedial training and stuff and give you additional opportunities. So he probably could have got there. Now here's the thing. I went into the Marine Corps 22 years ago, probably right about the same time Mike went in. To me, that feels like 3 lifetimes ago. I can't imagine being in the military that long, staying in shape, putting up with all the bull crap, because I'm fat and lazy and out of shape. I get short of breath bringing in groceries from the car. So I've got a lot of respect for guys like Mike who end up making the military a career. So congratulations to Mike. I hope you enjoy your retirement. He's apparently headed to Africa as a contractor. I hope it's one of those things where they pay you like $300,000 every 10 minutes. So you can get over there, make some cash, and then come home, take a bit of a rest, and enjoy some reloading maybe. You have certainly earned it. So everybody, down in the comments, make fun of the Army, discuss the superiority of the Marine Corps over the Army, and maybe congratulate Mike while you're at it. So I'll see you guys next time.